that's all wood from milling in the past year. So that's the start of a year's worth. And I've barely dented my wood. I can easily fill this whole area up with what I have. Welcome back to my channel. It's H. I've got to clean up this deck a little bit more, and then I'll go ahead and get started on doing the trim work in here so I can start doing siding. It's a beautiful day today. It is cold out, but it is beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start bringing the wood out. This is a really wet one. Just in a matter of 5 days in that heat in that shed, it really dried it out nice. Hopefully enough. That being said, it's going to soak up water during the winter anyway. But I didn't want it to shrink too much because it's going to swallow a lot too. Because the way this works is you get the trim up first, and then you do your siding material, since it's lap siding, and it all just butts up to it. And then you just caulk along the edges rather than putting the siding up and then putting the trim up afterwards, because it won't lay as nice. I did order a small, I think it's a 14 by 21 inch. Yeah, it's 14 by 21 inch window with a slider on it for up in the loft. I'm going to put one up for now. And I've got a 2 by 6 that I cut today out of a piece that was larger that had been sitting around all summer. Anyway, that's that window. When it gets here through Amazon, I'll show installing it up there in the peak. And then probably, if I like it, I'm going to get a second one for the other side so I have good ventilation up there in the loft. Because with that wood stove on, it's almost unbearable if I get the heat going enough to keep the downstairs warm. That heat rises. The only thing I could do would be to close off the loft, and I didn't want to do that. So I'll put windows in, and I'll probably put 2 in at this end, none at this end. But they're only like $58 for a window. I wish they were a little cheaper, but they're just shed windows. It'll work perfect. And I'll do the same thing with that window. I'm going to mask it off. I'm going to paint it with the paint so it matches these windows, and all my trim will also get painted to match next summer. But the trim's too long to really paint it, and then I can't leave it out here. It's not going to dry. It's too cold. So I'll just screw it on with limited amount of screws, unscrew it next summer, and paint it. And while the paint's drying on that, I'll be staining the siding that I put up. And then I'll put the trim back up, and then I'll find my caulk that I want, and I'll put caulking in all the cracks and seams, and that'll be done, and it'll be a nice clean look. So that's it for the moment. Let me go. This stuff, I got to get all this kindling moved. Excuse me, Sage. All right. So I've got all the boards laid around here. I've got enough to do the whole building for trim. So I'm going to start on this wall here. I've just cut these down to the width and kind of laid these up right here. I haven't anchored them yet. So I'm going to start with this wall right here and work my way to this wall right here. And I think I'm going to work on around to this wall too, and get these 3 walls done as much as possible, and possibly this one, the edge a little bit, because I'm going to have another board butt up to this, because I don't want to see the ends of the boards per se. I'm going to do the same thing over here. This one's going to run out, so the board on that wall butts up to this one. pretty level. Right on the money. So I'll go ahead and anchor that into place. Let's see here. This one to play. What do you do, Sage? These two walls are fully trimmed. This one's partially trimmed on this side, partially trimmed on this side. So tomorrow, I'll start working my way around that way. Top piece is going to be a bit of a challenge because, like I said, I don't have a second person to hold the other side, so I've got to kind of plan it out so I can get it to stay there and hope that it lines up okay. But this guy, I've got the screws in it. Ultimately what I need to do is I'll probably just, I guess, start with the center here. You kind of eye up the whole thing. Let's hope this has to be cut. Okay, let's go ahead and get that ladder over here. Off the screw. So for the moment, this area will get done later. This is all done now. I'm gonna try and get this one started here from the bottom. This is an upright. And then I'm gonna do sections. And I think, looking at this one, we're looking at about inch and a half visually. So I'm kind of thinking right about here. I'm gonna get one started and see if I'm, you know what? Let's try something here. Let's check level right now as far as side to side. There we go, that's perfect. start running the bottom pieces. Get those, then I'll come back, get the top pieces, and that will be it for today. So that's how it's going to look if I do about a 3-inch overhang on the walls. And I'm going to go ahead and measure that and give me an idea of how many boards we'll need for the walls. But I think I got it figured out, sort of. And we'll start with these two walls here.